What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video because Liverpool have inquired for Adama Traore's signature. Apparently, according to the Daily Mirror newspaper, Liverpool want to sign Adama Traore in the summer when the Premier League season finishes, and when the transfer window opens, Liverpool are planning to sell as many as 6 first-team players to generate some funds, because right now Liverpool have financial difficulties. That's why Liverpool pulled out of the Timo Werner deal. But if you are excited about Liverpool still making a big money transfer in the summer after selling some first-team players, they are planning to sell Xherdan Shaqiri, Dejan Lovren, Marco Grujic, Harry Wilson, and of course we are letting Adam Lallana go, and maybe other players as well. So let me know guys if you are excited about this by leaving a like on this video, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news. So the report states that Liverpool have inquired about Adama Traore, and the player is very keen to join Liverpool, but hopefully future Premier League champions and also the current still Champions League holders. And also in this video I will let you know the exact dates of Liverpool's remaining 9 Premier League fixtures, because now they are official. Also we will have some brand new contract talk news about Virgil van Dijk and Wijnaldum's new contract. Also some injury reports over 3 Liverpool players who are missing behind closed doors a friendly game on Thursday against Blackburn Rovers. And it is common knowledge that the Mirror newspaper is a major newspaper in the United Kingdom, and there could be some truth behind this report, because Liverpool, yes, right now they are struggling financially at this current moment. There is even talk that Liverpool may not sign anyone this summer as a result, but Liverpool will generate some funds by selling some first-team players who are surplus to requirements. Marco Grujic, Jurgen Klopp is not a big fan of him. It doesn't have a future in Liverpool's first team. He has been at Hertha Berlin for 2 seasons now in the Bundesliga, and his stock is quite high in Germany, so we could sell him for around £20 million. Neil Jones from the Goal newspaper, and he used to be a Liverpool correspondent, said that Liverpool are considering selling even Divock Origi among other players. Dejan Lovren, Shaqiri, Loris Karius, Harry Wilson, Marco Grujic. That's as many as 6 players on the transfer list. Let me know, in particular, would you be bothered if Liverpool sold Divock Origi? I mean, if we replaced with Adama Traore, who Jurgen Klopp described as unplayable when Liverpool played Wolves earlier this season, then I would be fine with it. I think Adama Traore would be an upgrade on Divock Origi. Yes, Divock Origi has some good moments, but he's like a super sub, an impact player who can come on for the last 20-30 minutes and maybe score a goal, get some assists, terrorize defenders. But as a regular starter, I don't think he could be a quality replacement for Salah and Mane if they are either missing or injured, or they have to go to the Africa Cup of Nations, if they are suspended. So I think Liverpool need backup players who are of a higher quality than Divock Origi. And if we could sell Origi for like 20-25 million and bring in Adama Traore for 40 to 50 million pounds, that would be, I think, a significant upgrade in Liverpool's squad. And Adama Traore, when he arrived in English football, he was like a player who had all the attributes to succeed. He had pace, he had strength, he had dribbling ability, but the end product was missing. He lacked goals, he lacked assists. But this season he added those to his repertoire, because in 28 Premier League appearances he scored 4 goals and he also registered 7 assists. And for a team like Wolves, that's a pretty awesome return, having been involved in 11 goals in total in 28 Premier League games. And I think this is only the start for Adama Traore. I think as he matures and he gets more football education and more football intelligence, playing in the Premier League and learns the trade, I think he will get better and better each season as he plays. And Adama Traore fits the profile of the usual Liverpool transfers. He's 25 years old, he has bags of potential, he's 178 centimeters tall, but he's built like a bodybuilder nowadays. And even when he was playing in Barcelona's B team, Liverpool were scouting him, and I remember Liverpool were linked with Adama Traore back in the day when he was still playing at Barcelona. And then he signed for Aston Villa, where he had one season in the Premier League, and after that he signed for Middlesbrough, where he had one season in the Premier League again. But he hasn't developed at the rate that you expect at that time. But then in the Championship he got more experience with Middlesbrough, and after that Wolverhampton signed him, and this is his best season so far. He in total has 6 goals in all competitions in 43 games, and he's very rarely injured. I don't think he's on the same level as Salah or Mane, but very few players are in European football, and I think he's a better player than Divock Origi, and he could terrorize defenses. Can you imagine when Salah and Mane has run the fullbacks ragged, on comes Adama Traore for the last 30 minutes with his blistering pace? He would smoke most Premier League defenders in the last 30 minutes for Liverpool, and I'm just salivating by just thinking about Adama Traore running at fullbacks in a Liverpool shirt. How awesome would that be? And I'm sure that Adama Traore wants to take the next step in his career, and apparently Wolves also want to generate funds to make big summer transfers as well. And Adama Traore only has one big trophy so far in his career, the Copa del Rey with Barcelona, but he wasn't really part of the first team back then. So I'm sure that Adama Traore wants to go to Liverpool and start winning trophies, start winning titles as soon as possible. And media reports are saying that Liverpool have already positioned themselves to be first in line for Adama Traore, who many clubs are interested in him. Manchester United, Manchester City, and even Bayern Munich have an interest in the player. But I think those clubs, they don't have Adama Traore as the first choice. Liverpool might. And what's interesting from the claims is that behind the scenes, Jorge Mendes is trying to get involved and build a transfer case for Adama Traore. Even though Adama Traore is not his client, Jorge Mendes is heavily involved with Wolves. Of course, Wolves have a very big Portuguese core, they have a Portuguese manager, and Jorge Mendes is the Portuguese super agent who brought many players to Wolves, and he was also involved in other big transfers around the world. And it would be no surprise if he would somehow get involved with this transfer as well. And Melissa Reddy, who is a Liverpool-based journalist, said that one of the priorities for Liverpool this summer is to tie down some key players to long-term contracts. Virgil van Dijk and Jorginho Wijnaldum are the 2 players that Liverpool want to tie down, and this is what Reddy said in the Independent newspaper. The priority for Liverpool has been to lock down Virgil van Dijk and Alisson for the long term, while continuing to reward players that have delivered the Champions League success, and they are close to ending the 30-year wait for the Premier League title, and I'm really happy with that. I think Alisson and Van Dijk are 2 of the absolute key core players of this Liverpool squad, and it's absolutely massively important to tie them down to long-term contracts. And also, pretty renowned journalist Fabrizio Romano said this on his Twitter: talks between Liverpool and Gini Wijnaldum's agent to extend his contract are going so well, so that's good news for Liverpool fans as well. And Raphael Honigstein also said that it looks like the Africa Cup of Nations will be played in 2022 and not in 2021, so not next season in January, which is massive news for Liverpool. Apparently the reason is that football's schedule adapts to the effects of the pandemic, the financial crisis, and the football suspension. And this news will be a big boost for Liverpool, who are expecting to lose 3 players, Naby Keita, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah, to the Africa Cup of Nations. Thankfully, Joao Matip already retired from the Cameroon national team. But those are 3 key players for Liverpool. Naby Keita, if he's fully fit, is one of the starting players for Liverpool, and of course I don't have to tell you guys how absolutely massively important Salah and Mane are to how Liverpool play, how strong they are, and we would drop, I think, significant number of points in those 6 weeks if those two players weren't at Liverpool next season in January. January is normally the time where Liverpool have a wobble after playing so many games at high intensity since the start of the season as well. And if Liverpool can't make big summer transfers going out, then I'm not sure if Liverpool can sign an attacking player coming in, which would mean that it would be absolutely massively important to Liverpool's success next season for the Africa Cup of Nations to be postponed, because if it's postponed for another year, then Liverpool could plan and get their financial situation in order, and hopefully we can sign one or two attacking players in 2 summers time. I mean next summer, not this summer that is coming, but next summer Liverpool would already, I think, sign one superstar attacking player, because Mane, Salah and Firmino would be close to getting 30 years old. So I'm sure that Liverpool will be planning long term to maybe replace them sooner or later. And yes, it might be frustrating for many Liverpool fans that Liverpool are refusing to spend big money on a transfer. But Liverpool's owners have always ran Liverpool like this. They always ran it like a tight financial business, and it could be frustrating for Liverpool fans. I completely understand that. But Jurgen Klopp said that all clubs are losing money right now. We have to take that into account. And also, it would be absolutely moronic if Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp would ask players to take a wage cut, but then on the other hand we went out and spent 50-60 million pounds on a superstar. That would be absolutely unexplainable. And also Jurgen Klopp said that if you want to take it seriously and run a normal business, you depend on income, and so far in the last few months income has been almost shut off at Liverpool, at many other football clubs. I mean, Champions League finalists Tottenham had to take out a £175 million loan from the Bank of England just to survive this period, because they are losing about £200 million. So Liverpool might be losing £200 million as well, and that's the tough situation that Liverpool find themselves in. But I still think that if Liverpool can move on some players, we can sign somebody in the summer transfer window, and Jurgen Klopp are also preparing Takumi Minamino to have a big role next season. We are also going to promote Harvey Elliott, Neco Williams, Curtis Jones to the first team next season. So those young players can fill the gaps a little bit if Liverpool suffers some injuries or we need to rotate players. And according to current FIFA president Gianni Infantino, FIFA they discussed the idea of both a salary cap in football and a transfer fee cap, two revolutionary proposals that would dramatically change how football clubs are run and potentially level the playing field long term. And this is what he said: I heard some interesting proposals on a wide range of topics, from salary caps to transfer fee caps or other taxation mechanisms to the possible obligation of governing bodies to contribute to a reserve fund which can be of assistance in hours of need, such as now. FIFA is already doing a lot of work in this area, even if we face some strong vested interests who fight against our plea for better governance. These measures, projects and ideas should be discussed at all levels. I know that this will spark intense debate, but debate is healthy and we should speak about it as we stand together in this difficult period. And I think after this pandemic and this financial crisis, the transfer fees have to come down, the wages have to come down, everything, this overinflated, incredible bubble that football is living in, it has to be reined in a little bit. I'm not saying that that football shouldn't be run as a free market. I'm saying that like players going for 250 million pounds is just so incredibly high that you have to, I think sooner or later you have to implement a kind of a salary cap and a transfer fee cap, a maximum that you can spend on transfer fees, on salaries. And it's already very concerning that in Germany, Bundesliga, it's almost certain that Bayern Munich will win the title again after like 6 or 7 years already. Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga title in a row. In Italy, Juventus are going to win the title like 9 years in a row or something like that. And also in France, Paris Saint-Germain wins the title almost guaranteed every season. Do we want football to go like this, that the richest club always wins the title in their country and that's it? The other clubs are just competing for second place. And Fabio Aurelio, I'm not sure you guys remember him. He was a left back at Liverpool during the Rafa Benitez era, and he's a Brazilian, and he said that in Brazil, Liverpool fans are growing in numbers. This is what he said, because of what Liverpool is achieving right now in the Champions League and in the Premier League. Everyone is looking at the club a lot more. And with Alisson, Firmino and Fabinho, they are doing great. Obviously, after Coutinho, I could start that, and what was a piece of that, but they elevate a lot the Brazilian name on the club. This is very special for the Brazilian people who were looking at Liverpool before, but now they have a more specific reference. Liverpool are being followed a lot in Brazil right now. To be honest, I realized I was the first Brazilian once I was in Liverpool. I didn't know that before I got to the club. It was the Premier League, and I was looking forward to going, having been in La Liga. Rafa Benitez had confidence in me and opened that door. It was an amazing opportunity, especially after knowing that I was the first Brazilian to join Liverpool FC. We changed a little bit the thinking of people about Brazilian players. Liverpool knew how to pick the right people. No doubt they are really happy with the free Brazilian players they have right now, not only outside the pitch, but on the pitch as well. And yes, it's quite weird that Liverpool have never had a Brazilian player before Fabio Aurelio, and now we have actually 3 of the best Brazilians in the Liverpool team, and I think this could continue a trend of Liverpool signing great South American talent, especially Brazilian talent, because I think in Brazil the Liverpool fans numbers will keep growing and growing, because I see Alisson and Firmino and Fabinho playing at Liverpool for many years to come, especially Alisson and Fabinho. Maybe Firmino 2 or 3 years max, maybe 4, but the other 2 could go on for another like 10 years still at Liverpool, and that's what I'm hoping for. And the Sunday Supplement journalist said that the fact that Chelsea moved so quickly with such an intent for Timo Werner in the middle of this financial crisis shows that Chelsea are very serious about getting back to the top of English football, and it shows their intent. It is a real statement from Chelsea that they are ready to go again, that they are willing to spend, and it puts pressure on others, as we are hearing that Tottenham and Arsenal are having to look at loan deals and free transfers this next market, and potentially Liverpool as well. And Matt Lowe said this: Chelsea are in an incredibly strong position in all of this. The timing has worked out so strangely for them, because they could not spend any money last summer while also getting in 130 million for Eden Hazard. They sold Alvaro Morata, and I think the money for him comes through this summer for around 48 million as well. So they could not sign anyone last summer because they had a transfer ban, and then they were not able to sign in January because they could not get the targets they wanted to. Then all of a sudden they find themselves in a summer where they have money in the bank from deals like Morata and Hazard that has come in. They have not spent any money in the last 2 windows. They are in a position to try and take some advantage through this, in that they have been saving money, and they have all these young players coming through who themselves have become more and more valuable over recent months through Lampard, playing them and through them succeeding so well, and then all of a sudden they can supplement it with going back into the market, so they look very well placed, really have a good go at things, and to maybe take advantage of some other clubs not being able to do what they can do because of the financial crisis. So this is, I think, a very good argument in Chelsea's favor, and the Premier League season already is going to be fascinating next season and how it shapes up, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season and covering it for you guys on this channel. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, see you later guys, goodbye.